Well, let's go back to your paper too. Now, you know, at a time when basically the Learner paper closed down and local papers have diminished everywhere. There are less of them. They're thinner and all that. You decided to put out a paper. What's it been like as a publisher, coming up with the dough, the stories, the distribution questions?
Well, you know, what we've tried to do is take sort of, no pun intended, a page from what works, what still works. You know, what still works in journalism, well, first of all, is real journalism. When you go out, you ask the right questions, and you're not afraid to print the truth and what's actually going on, that has value. What also works, as painful as it is to admit this, is the Red Eye and their whole strategy of the free commuter paper presented to people as they're getting on a train in the morning. You know, I'm not a big fan of what the Red Eye does, but I replicate it. We are out there every couple weeks when we come out handing out papers. We hand out 2,500 at the train stations. We also do sort of the Huffington Post system where we let anybody who wants to, who has something legitimate to report about, submit articles. And that's been really successful for us because it's allowed us to bring in kind of the specialized understanding that's only really present at the community level, you know, and put it into print. Including that's a lot tougher for a larger metropolitan paper. A lot of times, you know, in the neighborhoods, they don't have the relationships. They've got maybe one day to come out and report the story. And even if they come out to do it, you know, they're going to do the Rogers Park story today. They may be in Englewood tomorrow. So it's real tough. You know, they're good at reporting the larger stories. It's a lot tougher to get the local stuff. So we think there's a real opportunity there.
You like being a publisher?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of work, a little more work than we thought.
Have you had a lot of people coming your way wanting to be involved? And how, if someone wanted to become involved, how would they contact you?
They just shoot an email to editor@theurbancoaster.com. We have had quite a few folks. We had one gentleman who's a teacher at Oakton College. He teaches African studies. He now writes for us. He did a special this week, or a piece this week on Uganda. You know, and if folks want to write for us, the best thing to do is just get in touch with us and write something, you know, and we'll decide whether or not, you know, it fits with our mission. We're definitely a progressive paper. If you want to write about how great Rush Limbaugh is, we'll probably tell you, you know, head over there and talk to him. We're not going to do
Have
that.
you covered the reopening of the 400 Theater?
Yeah, actually, we have in a couple of different ways. We covered the initial push that they did back, I want to say it was last November, to rehab the outside of their building. They had a really nice terracotta building, and a big part of the story of what Tony Fox and Mr. Klein have done so well over there is rehabbing this terracotta structure where other people, Loyola University, for example, are tearing those structures down. These folks are finding ways to keep them in place. And the thing about that story specifically that changed, and a lot of people don't know this, is that originally they were authorized to receive TIF funding for that project. And in the end, they said, we don't want it. We're just going to go ahead without it and just rehab our building and go forward. So it's a unique story in a lot of ways.
Jim Gindersky, thanks for coming on the show. You've been listening to Live from the Heartland, brought to you every Saturday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. at 88.7 Loyola University Chicago Sound Alliance. I'm Michael James. I'm your host for this morning's edition. I want to thank Lisa Smith downtown. I want to thank Evan West right here. Stay tuned for Gospel Memories coming up, and we encourage you to do good in the world because the world needs all the good that you do. Power to the people. Over and out.